Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Today, before we go further to our next lesson, let me introduce myself. My name is Hermawan Juliyanto, and I am your English teacher for 10, 11, and 12th grade. Right now, before we go to the next material, it's a good thing to have is pray together. So, pray together with our belief in our religion first. Pray, begin. Finished. So, before we move to our next material, how about you don't forget to absent and leave your mark on Google Classroom first. The link is on your leader of your class, okay? So the chief class. So the first thing I want you to know is about giving opinion. Okay, the first purpose of the lesson is first, you have to identify every sentences which is giving opinion and responding to opinion with others. And the second is identifying every sentences of giving and responding to advices. But today we are not going to talk about advices, but only talking about the opinion. So the third one is creating a conversation, a short conversation containing of expressing of opinion on a situation which is real or authentic material situation. And the fourth is creating a short conversation containing a variety of expression of advising and suggesting. So the next thing you have to understand and you have to know is, so giving opinion, why is it important? Why? I want you to understand giving opinion is not just give your thought or give your mind, but giving opinion has main reason. Is it the three main reasons, right? The first one is everyone has its own mind. So the second one is your opinion is necessary. These things mainly talk about how you express your feeling to others. And the third is respect one opinion first, then you will be respected by others. So when someone gives you an opinion about their mind, so you have to listen to them first. And then that person or that people would listen to you also. So that's why three main reasons of important of giving opinion, right? So remember, opinion has a three main reason. That one is everyone has his own mind. Second one, your opinion is necessary. And the third is respect one opinion first. Then you will be respected. So we move to the next slide. This one, asking and giving opinion like a native speaker. Do you want to be an English speaker like me? I currently studying in English of University of English, and then I talk like a British person because I used to watch Harry Potter, so my accent is like a British person. So this is why like a native speaker sounds. Okay, so I want you to understand, because we talk about asking and giving opinion, I want you to understand how accurately and appropriately your speaking skill is, especially for your pronunciation of each word and your fluency. Also, don't forget about your grammar. Okay, next, asking and giving opinion, some common expression of asking someone's opinion. You can use first. How do you feel about that? Perhaps someone give you an Apple or an Apple laptop, iPhone, and then you ask to that person, how do you feel about that? Are you happy? Or are you sad? Or are you so-so? How do you feel about that? Second, what is your point of view? Third, perhaps you can use someone else's name. David, I would really appreciate your view. Remember, this one is view. Okay? View, not feel. If you say feel, it means less, not your view. Okay? Fourth, have you got any thoughts on this? Fifth, do you have any views on this? And the last, does anyone have any other comments? If you ask someone else's opinion or someone else's comment, this is a very suitable expression for that situation. And then we move to responding to opinion. If someone gives you a question about your thought, about your mind, and then you perhaps wants to give, well, I do really agree or in line with you. You can really use this kind of phrases. The first is the strong. It means like you really, really, really love the idea of that person. First is the absolutely. The second one is exactly. The third, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. I have exactly the same opinion as you. You have hit the nail on the head. This is an idiom expression, like it means exactly the same as absolutely or exactly, or I totally agree with you, or I have exactly the same opinion as you. But this kind of expression is not rarely used because there is someone less understand, because this is an idiom expression. Okay, you have hit the nail on the head. I'm going to use that first. And then you only agree about, so. I agree with your opinion, but not too much. Okay, you can use this kind of expression. I agree to a certain extent. I'm with you up to a point. I agree partly. Partly, it means half, you know. Partly, it means half. I guess you're right. And then you can also use a neutral expression like this. I see what you mean. You've got a point there. That's a very good point. That's a great suggestion. That's one way of looking at it. Okay? That's a neutral situation. You're not that disagree, but you're not that agree too much. It's a neutral. And then we move about giving opinion of expressing opinion. So you can use a strong first, like I believe, I really do believe. I do believe in God, for example. I'm convinced that He is right. He is not a bad person. If you really know the person, that's the example. I'm sure that He is the right person for you. Okay? I have no doubt at all because I saw him with my own two eyes. He didn't steal the jewelry. So the next one is there is no doubt in my mind that I'm quite certain that. The medium expression you can use, I think. Remember, I think, not I think. It's different. If you say think, it means your thought. If you say think, it means this one. Well, if you asked me, I'd like to point out that as I see it, in my opinion, I'm a weak person, in a weak fashion, I feel that my impression is that I'm sure, but I'm leaning towards. I tend to think about some creepy songs that I like to use to sing, for example. And then we move to other material. Disagreeing. Well, this is some construction, or this is some I really negatively disagree with your opinion, disagree about your thought. It means that no, because I'm not in line with you. Okay, you can use a strong expression like this. I totally disagree. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there. With respect, I have to say I don't. agree. I disagree entirely. I can't go along with that ought at all. It's out of question. I understand what you're saying, but I have a different opinion. I'm sorry. Then you can use the medium. It's not you strongly disagree with someone else, but you not really agree with that person. So you can use this kind of phrases. I agree with you to a point, but I disagree about that point. You know, that's too much. I know what you mean, but I don't really agree with you. I think it might be better to just go out. I'd be inclined to think the opposite. I'm not sure that's such a good idea. Don't you think that it's too darkened or it's too yellowish? I'm concerned that it not suit you well. I'm not entirely convinced that that's the expression of disagree. So, after you know agree and disagree, this is a short question for you. I already prepared some short conversation between Samsul, Nyoman, Anita, and Johan. I'm going to read it for you. So listen to the conversation and then answer the following questions. Samsul, before I begin the report, I'd like to get some ideas from you all. How do you feel about rural sales in your sales district? I suggest we go around the table first to get all of your input. In my opinion, we have been focusing too much on urban customers and their needs. The way I see things, we need to return to our rural base by developing an advertising campaign to focus on their particular needs. I'm afraid I don't agree with you. I think rural customer wants to feel as important as our customer living in cities. I suggest we give our rural sales teams more help with advanced customer information reporting. Excuse me? I didn't catch that. Could you repeat that, please? I just stated that we need to give our rural sales teams better customer information reporting. I don't quite follow you. What exactly do you mean? Well, we provide our city sales staff with database information on all of our larger clients. We should be providing the same sort of knowledge on our rural customer to our sales staff there. Would you like to add anything, Miss Mulia? I must admit I never thought about rural sales that way before. I have to agree with Miss Anita. Well, let me begin my presentation. As you can see, we are developing new method to reach out our rural customers. I suggest we break up into groups and discuss the ideas we've presented. Wow, that's a great idea. Now, after you listen to what the conversation is, so these are your questions. First is, what is the topic of the meeting? You have to see the videos. You have to see the conversation first. Then you can answer these questions. So, your question is about 1 to 10, and it will be answered and graded on VidCon, on my VidCon, of course. So you have to attend the VidCon, and don't forget, bring your answer of this question. Okay, I think that's enough for today's meeting. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for watching these videos. I think that's a good knowledge for you. Knowledge and information is very important right now. Just because you know this already, it doesn't mean that you don't need it. Perhaps there's some expression that you don't know. So please watch, learn, and reach your future. Thank you very much.